Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Black Eel Podcast. Here are your hosts, Scott and Mike. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the teaser of Spider Man Brand New Day. We're going to then move on to talking about my answer to Mike's question from last week, which we'll go over a little bit later. We will then move on to talking about our thoughts on Peacemaker Season 2. I'm sorry, Season 1. My apologies.
Not
To
yet.
get us ready for Season 2. And then we're going to be talking about Eyes of Wakanda that came out 2 or 3 weeks earlier than we were planning on.
Yeah, out
So
of
anyway,
nowhere.
yeah, so it was a 4 episode show, and then we're going to be ending with a character spotlight from Mike. So let's get right into it. I mean, Spider-Man should be quick because I saw the other one, and I was kind of like, oh, that's kind of
Yeah, no, it was like it was just they teased the costume and then just
yeah,
revealed it the next day with him in the costume. It's like, all right, it's
yeah.
like
So they gave us it. It gives me Amazing Spider-Man vibes.
so. What I've been seeing online is that people are thinking that he took inspiration from both Spider-Man suits to make his own.
Which, to be fair, would make sense because he's
Yep,
seen them both.
exactly.
Because it does
Um,
look like, because I did hear like the red kind of looks more like Tobey Maguire's,
mhm.
and then the symbol is more Andrew Garfield's. So I think that's kind of interesting to see him do that. But it does make sense because Spider-Man, I mean, Spider-Man exists in his universe, but Peter Parker does not.
hmm And there's actually continuing on. I don't know if you've heard it, but we're supposed to in this movie we're supposed to be getting the Punisher and the Hulk. Um,
So I heard about the Punisher. I didn't realize the Hulk too. I
yep.
also heard a rumor that Scorpion's going to be in it finally.
Actually yes, I did hear that. But a lot of people are fan theorying that Hulk will be the only person or being that remembers who Peter Parker is. Um,
Yes.
so I'm interested to see what's going on if that'll actually come to fruition or if they're just going to
Well, the thought is he can, because when the time the magic happened, Hulk wasn't there.
yeah.
Which
I
is
mean,
it's a weird thing to think about, but it does make sense.
yeah, no, I mean it does make sense. It's just whether they want to pull the trigger on that or not.
Well, I think
Um,
that's one of the reasons why they're at the very least they're going to answer the question,
mhm.
because the idea is if he's going to be in it, he's not in it to be the powerhouse, although he is. The idea is he's going to be used as the device to show not everyone forgot about you.
I mean, I mean, Hulk isn't really a powerhouse anymore. Like he is, but they nerfed him.
Well, we don't know how much more they can add to him, because let's be honest, Hulk varies in power based on how much radiation he has.
Well, no. What I meant was because of the combination with Banner. Like since they merged him
They're
and Banner,
not merged anymore.
when he turns into the Hulk, he's still Banner. Last time we saw him as Hulk, it was in She-Hulk, and he had full control of Hulk.
Yeah, but he couldn't transform his normal way.
I don't remember how the transforming worked. That I don't remember.
We never saw it, but the assumption was he had to scientifically merge the two for him to be that. He couldn't just if he just transformed, it would be the Hulk.
Okay, so you're saying that if he legitimately like got angry and became the Hulk, then he would lose control. But if he had to,
As long as he wasn't Smart Hulk. Smart Hulk, he can't transform. He's stuck. He has to scientifically bring himself either back or you know what I'm saying?
okay, all right, that's interesting. All right, well then,
That's how I took it because he made it very clear about how his transformation is different now. And it wasn't because if you remember, we never saw him get angry to transform.
I mean, I don't remember seeing him legitimately transform,
We didn't.
anyways.
That was the point.
So,
No,
like,
he was a human at one point in
yeah, no,
She-Hulk,
I knew he was human, and whenever we saw him, it was either human or the Hulk. So it was like
but it
we
wasn't
never
the Hulk. It was Smart Hulk, which is
smart
different.
Hulk.
Um,
Um,
but I get your point. So no, Smart Hulk is weaker. Yes, I'm not going to argue that whatsoever. Obviously, the Hulk is the stronger one.
and I wasn't exactly saying like I know the Hulk is a powerhouse. Like even smart Hulk is a powerhouse. I was just more saying because Banner is in control, he wouldn't go lose control and go
Yep.
raging around, whatever. So
I don't
like,
know. Did you see Endgame? Did you see him Hulk out? Or
no.
no, remember he like flips
No,
the switch.
no, I remember.
It's like,
It's
oh, this
just
is so barbaric. Um, so no, I just wanted to make that clear because the idea is I'm thinking it's going to be the real Hulk we see.
Mhm.
But anyway, let us move on from that because I mean, there's really not much more other than that because there was
No.
nothing else.
The only thing
It's
that he said was that in the trailer he said, "Are you ready?" And you know,
yeah, and I think the idea was I mean, it's just the filming because the idea
yeah,
was it was supposed to get people hyped, which, to be fair, it did. But it wasn't. It didn't. It gave us nothing but a suit,
yep.
and that
I
Tom
mean,
Holland.
no matter what, if Marvel wants to start like turning things in a different direction in terms of getting people interested in the MCU again, we've talked about this and we're drifting a little bit. It's like the three movies that are always going to put butts in seats for superhero movies. It's going to be
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman.
Yep.
Um,
Always.
like
Spider-Man is
the
going to be the focal point and should be because he's going to be the one leading
yeah.
or spearheading,
Uh,
especially at his age now.
at his age, yeah, it's still like obviously like in terms of like MCU, he like the one who's remaining out of the original.
Oh no, I agree with you on that one, but I mean, he's moved up the ranks significantly, um, and I don't mean just because people died. I mean just because of his actual skill set, his
Yep,
intelligence,
he's gotten
and his
better and
experience.
whatnot. Yep.
Yep, and he's also learned from his all the
I'm
older
just
brothers.
interested to see if they actually pull the trigger and make him more street level versus Avengers level. So we'll see what happens with that.
We'll see with this movie. I think because I think the problem is we can't see him in anything else because the thought was he was the rumor was they had plans of having him in Daredevil season 2,
Hmm.
but it doesn't. I'm
I mean,
saying
it
more.
can't happen.
Well, that's what we're hearing, and I know this is
Yep.
very weird to say, but
They
but
they pull a fast one on us. Yes, they
correct. But
can do that.
I will say this: like the thought has always been it can never happen,
Yep.
and so that's kind of more of what I'm getting at. So I'm very curious to see what happens there. But that being said, very much looking forward to it because it's May of next year.
I actually don't remember what the date was, so that I actually I just remember 2026. That's all I
I
remember.
don't remember if they I thought they did recently give us like they didn't give us a full date. They gave us a month. I thought.
Um,
But I've been wrong before. I'm not saying.
quite frequently, in fact.
Yeah, yeah. Mike likes to bring it up every time. Um, but
It's
yeah,
funny because you say what like most of the time when you're wrong, you say it with your full chest, and I'm just like, no, and you're like, no, I refuse to believe you, and then
now this time I definitely do only because this one I'm not confident in at all.
I am not seeing anything in terms of release day, so I'm not.
No, no,
I
that's
do not
fine.
know.
Anyway, but yeah, it
All
was
right,
just
so you ready to move on to my question then?
July 31st, 2026.
Oh, okay. So you were wrong, but no. Uh,
It's an interesting date. It's a very interesting date. But anyway, yeah, let's move on. So you had a question for me?
so my question from last week, because it's been a couple weeks since we've seen both. Which movie did you enjoy more, Superman or Fantastic Four:
Superman.
First Steps?
Superman.
Really? Okay.
So my answer was the same last week, which is funny. But I said, you know what? Let
I,
me give it more thought. Let me give it
I
more
wanted
thought.
to give it a week because it was the same thing with me. After I left the movie, I was like, okay, I definitely enjoyed Superman more, but I was
But
like, I wanted to let it
but
fester for a
to be
week.
fair, like I want to say, like that does not mean I did not enjoy Fantastic Four. I want to
No,
make
no, no.
that
I'm not
clear.
saying Fantastic Four was a bad movie. Absolutely not.
But I think overall, story wise, impact. I think part of my issue with Fantastic Four was, as weird as it sounds, I was expecting the world to be destroyed because it wasn't the main world,
Hmm.
and we there. I know it's gonna sound also weird, but like there wasn't a lot of stress of like, oh my gosh, are people going to die?
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, and then we had with Superman. As much as he tried to help everyone, there were people who did die. Granted, no main
Mm,
characters,
yeah,
but
yeah.
and I felt like it just was more, quite literally, world shattering. Granted, it was more universal shattering,
Mm,
which I find to be funny because technically both were trying to get into the, not actually, but get into the multiverse. Um, so I thought that was interesting. But that being said, I still have to say I like Superman more, and it was more due to the fact I don't normally like Superman,
I know you don't. You are
and
very vocal about that.
I don't hide it whatsoever. However, I liked there have been versions of Superman I like. In this one, I actually do, because although he is all powerful, he does not want to use it.
Hmm.
And again, that's why I like the animated series. That's why I like, which is leads into obviously the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited.
Hmm.
But like I loved that version. I loved Smallville. I love, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
because it shows a side of Clark Kent that it's Clark Kent and Superman's kind of secondary.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Yep.
And that's what I like the most. And
Oh.
and that's what we got here. And it wasn't, I'm a god, I'm gonna defeat these things and destroy them to save the universe. It was, I need to figure out a way to do this where I'm not gonna kill anybody, but also make sure that we have our stuff together.
Yep. I think it's funny that, like I said, you were very vocal about not being a big Superman fan because
Right.
of the fact that he has the God complex in some iterations.
In many
But
recent iterations of it.
very recently, he's gotten even more powerful. But like, what's funny is the two most recent Superman adaptations you absolutely love in terms of Superman James Gunn and My Adventures of Superman. And like you said, they're taking the step back, focusing more on the human part.
Well,
And I
that
mean, with My Adventures with Superman, like, obviously this one is different because he's already established. But the My Adventures of Superman, first of all, it's just a completely different take in general.
I was gonna say it's a completely different take in the universe as a
Yeah,
whole. Although I do agree with you, the
but
most
he's also
unique,
learning how to do it
the
as well.
most
So
unique version of Superman we've ever seen by
yes,
far.
but then so like the reason why I was asking was because obviously the two movies were neck and neck, and it was kind of who's gonna win out, whatever. And unfortunately, well, I mean, unfortunately because they came out so close together, it hurt both movies. But at the same time, like it's clear that Fantastic Four took the bigger hit. This weekend they're I've been looking at the numbers they've been popping up on Twitter. Superman is crossing I believe it's like 525 million worldwide.
Yes,
And
correct.
that's without the China box office because I believe China is boycotting US movies at the moment because of issues with our president.
Yes,
Um,
no, I did know that. So,
and Fantastic Four had a massive opening weekend, but since last weekend, its sales have
gone down.
dipped. Like it's like Superman dropped 60% sales, which is good for modern superhero movies. Fantastic Four dropped like 80%.
Correct.
Um, so it's like everyone's like, well, hopefully Kevin Feige and Disney learn not to go head to head with with DC because
Which
it'll
we'll
just
talk
hurt.
about. I feel like they did because they're not going against Peacemaker. They released Eyes of Wakanda early,
Yep, yep.
um, which
I like before I was going to argue with you on that, but after what happened with Fantastic Four and Superman, I was like, no, that's very possible. Like they're gonna,
yeah, and it's funny because I you would not have, because realistically they, as weird as it sounds, those two would not be competing in the
no,
grand scheme of things. But however, they don't even want to risk it for at all, and I cannot blame them. So
yeah,
let's get it out first. Let's get everyone watching it because we only want the initial stuff to get people to watch it, and then we'll be ready for the next thing.
yep,
Because we'll be able to get people for Marvel Zombies, and then we'll get people. Which is weirdly enough, I am super excited for Wonder Man still, because you are not going to be prepared for this character.
yeah. I have no idea, so it's just like I'm going in
All
blind.
right, I'm gonna just give you like an idea of who Wonder Man is. Okay, Wonder Man is reality TV superhero.
Oh,
He's a real superhero, but it's reality TV.
all right.
And it, it a celebrity in the grand scheme of the world. If you
It just
understand what I
makes me
mean.
it just makes me think of Johnny Cage.
Yes, yes, but yeah, but I think he's less of a jerk, as weird as that sounds.
Okay, I mean that's fair. I mean,
Because I think that he's good, but he also thinks of himself as higher. But he's
yeah,
not like a jerk about it. He's put it this way: he's very much Johnny Cage in the sense of like he'll go to a place and be like, Wonder Man. Like he'll make a like an entrance
yep.
because
He
it's
wants all the eyes on him.
well because that's all he knows.
Uh huh.
That's all he knows.
Yeah.
But that being said, he's also a decent powerhouse. But anyway, I'm looking forward to it because one of my favorite characters is back. Um,
um.
Ben, Ben,
Huh.
Ben. Isn't his name Ben in the show, or is that his actor name? I forget what his name in the show is now.
I do not.
It's
I
the
don't.
fake Mandarin. It's the fake
No, no, no.
Mandarin.
I know who you're talking about. I don't. I don't remember. I don't
I
remember.
think the actor's name is Ben, which is even funnier to me. That's all I can remember because I cannot remember his character's name then, because all I have in my head is Ben. But he is a phenomenal actor, and he's phenomenal in the shows.
No, he's a
Like
good. He's
he's
great.
been in 2 movies, and now he's technically weirdly getting his own show. It looks like he's playing a major role, which is fitting. Um, but yeah, so I'm just curious on that front because that's why one of the jokes is when we see the teaser trailer for Wonder Man, he goes, "Hi, I'm so and so, and I'm here to play the character of Wonder Man." That's not his audition. That's his actual character.
Okay, that's
I know
cool.
because you would think not, but no. This is gonna be the this could be one of those where it's like WandaVision, where it's like we're not expecting it to be good, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's gonna be one of those where it's either gonna be awful or it's gonna be so out of left field it's good.
Hmm.
There's no I think there's gonna be no in between with it. That being said, let us move on to Peacemaker season 1.
Like I
So
said yesterday, I forgot how good this was.
so no, I remember it being good. I They were
No, I
parts.
knew it was good. I just was like, it was rewatching it. It's like,
I
is it
didn't
going to
think it was
hold
gonna be
up?
as good the second time. I
Yeah.
will agree. I will agree.
So some time has passed. It's been 3 years since I've seen it.
A
So,
lot of things have changed too, meaning like what in the universe too. So it's like what's real, what's not now.
hmm,
We still won't know until we start seeing more of the shows and movies.
we'll find
Um,
out at the end of the month how much of Peacemaker is still technically canon.
Correct. I have a feeling, as weird as it sounds, it's going to be everything except for the very last couple minutes where the Justice League comes in.
I'm kind of in the same boat. It's just I'm curious how
But
they're
I don't
going
know. But I
to
don't know that for a
retcon it.
fact.
Yeah.
I don't know. Excuse me, that for a fact. I forgot that Jason Momoa and Ez no, not Ezra. Is it Ezra? What is
As Ezra Miller,
Ezra Miller? Um.
I think.
Well, no. Now that you say that, because I'm now thinking it's the Star Wars character.
Exactly. As soon
Because
as as soon as I spoke the words, I was like, wait, no.
I know I was like, isn't that the character from Star Wars? But anyway, so the Flash and Aquaman, the real ones,
It
are
is
in
Ezra Miller. Okay.
it. I forgot that they were actually in it, which is funny. Um, it
No,
did
I
make it.
remembered. That I did remember.
Well, no, I couldn't remember if it was just a shadow, like because I remember it was silhouettes, and then we
Hmm.
were like, oh no, and then I forgot that because I remember him insulting them, but I forgot that we actually got to see two of them.
That's the only reason why I was like, because like it makes it difficult because we saw Jason Momoa, Aquaman, and Ezra Miller Flash as these characters at the end. Like if we had only seen their silhouettes, like Wonder Woman and Superman had, I could be like, okay, it's whatever. It's just a body double, no big deal. Even though we knew who they were supposed to
No, no,
represent.
absolutely, absolutely. But I mean, for the retcon, it would be a lot easier. But no, it was just it was so good. Everything was incredible. I also forgot how little of a part Amanda Waller had. I, for some reason, thought she was. Don't get me wrong. I knew she wasn't the main character whatsoever. But for some
She was
reason,
only
I
there
thought
for like 2 scenes, two or
I
three
thought she was
scenes.
there more. I
No,
honestly thought she was there more. And I was wrong, obviously. But
actually, she
she
was there for 2 scenes. Was
now,
was present
yes.
for 4 scenes because she was on the phone talking to them, and then she was
But we
texting
never hear
like,
them. But we
yeah,
never heard the. Yeah,
we never
correct,
heard of the voice.
correct. Oh, she's so good. I loved her daughter. I love that whole thing because she's
I love the
right.
chemistry between all of them because it's just
It was
like
so good, and I think my favorite thing now is we're going to be getting Judo Master joining the team
potentially.
because,
Yep.
well, he is at least temporarily. We know that from the trailer because he's working with John, and John hates him.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
We know that for a fact. You're right. We can't say he works for the whole team, but at the very least, he definitely has to work with John, and that's
At the
hilarious.
very least, he's like putting their differences aside to work together. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Um.
could be a different universe too. Remember, they're going into a different dimension.
Also true. We don't really know a
We
lot.
don't know anything. It's
Well,
just.
no, we know a lot, but we don't know a lot. I think our big issue is we don't know which is which. When we see stuff,
Mhm.
the only time we know for a fact is realistically most of the time the Peacemaker. I would say 90% of the time the Peacemaker we see is the Peacemaker we know, and then it's rare that we would see the other one because he then comes and tries to kill that Peacemaker. Well, we can't say kill, but definitely try to
Just
stop
stop.
him
Yeah.
because supposedly he's a hero along with him and his father and
And his
brother.
brother. Yep. I
Yes.
completely forgot about the. I completely forgot about his brother being killed the way he was.
So I remember. So I will tell you this: I didn't remember it was a fist fight that his dad made him do, but I remembered it being more his dad's fault than his. But I couldn't remember like the details.
Mm-hmm.
But I just remembered like dad was responsible, and
Mm-hmm.
I was right, but it was not in the way.
Not not as what you were thinking.
Yeah, well, I don't think I had a thought. I think that was part of the problem because I couldn't remember. But I remember like being like he blamed his son, but it was like his son wouldn't have had to have done anything if his dad wasn't an idiot,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and that's kind of how I always see it. Um, but yeah, no,
Very much so.
I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I
And
think
then
I'm curious. The butterflies were cool. Um,
I'm pretty sure that they, if I remember correctly, they're original for this show. So that was a nice new introduction for this universe that it worked out well. Like I told you, like I was talking to you yesterday about, I forgot the order of operations of how people got mind controlled and killed. So,
so I will tell you this: I definitely forgot the order of operations, but that was not the one I forgot. That one I remembered the most because but for whatever reason, what I messed up on, and I told you this, was I thought the butterfly that he saved was Mern's, not
mm,
the leader, and I for some reason I don't know why I thought that. Obviously, I was
yeah,
wrong. Obviously, I
yeah,
was
yeah,
wrong, but I'm just saying. And then
um,
I also forgot that the leader was still alive at the end.
yeah, yeah. Just I did forget that. I did forget that, and I'm just like, well, this is like, just let it. You're letting it suffer. It has no food, so you're just letting it starve to death. Like, oh
Well,
god,
well, he's feeding it and giving it a chance to live a life that it wants, so it's not as bad. It
it.
just
He ran out of food.
yeah. Eventually, he's gonna run out of food. There was a little bit left.
Yeah, so now he's gonna know he's knowingly going to be suffering. Like,
Mike, I don't know what you want from me. It's not gonna
oh, I
change.
would rather you kill it right then and there, so that way it doesn't have to suffer starving to death for however many weeks. That would be the humane thing to do.
It could have asked for it, and he didn't ask for it. He also could have taken over Peacemaker, and he didn't. Like, there's a lot of things it could have done.
I mean, at that point, I think it's like there's no point because it's dead anyways.
Well, correct. And I think also, I think when it's in a body, it has to eat more, which does make
Probably it's
sense.
using more energy. Yeah,
Which does make sense, but it's just interesting. I also forgot the cow.
yeah. I completely.
So let me phrase this: I didn't forget that the cow existed. I forgot what the cow looked like.
I thought it was like as soon as they started talking about the cow, I was like, all right, it's just gonna be a giant cow, like a literal cow. I'm like, that's weird. Why is it gonna be just a giant cow? Then we saw it. I was like, I completely forgot that it was an actual alien.
Yeah, yeah. It reminds me of something. Um, and I'm gonna send it to you as a photo
Okay,
because
it's like same thing. Like I picture something and I can't like I can't wrap my fingers around it. You know. um.
all right, let me see if I can get a
No,
good
and
picture.
I have to say, like John Cena, just he killed it in this role. Like I loved him as Peacemaker in general. I like him and at the moment, him and Batista are my two favorite wrestler to full time actors. They are they are both
Batista,
really good.
as weird as it sounds, I have more respect for Batista because of all the weight he lost. And I know this is very weird to say.
Oh yeah, I mean he
No,
doesn't want to
because
work out anymore, like
well,
or
no,
be
no,
as
no,
big as he was.
because he wants to take on more. He doesn't want to be just the action star,
Yeah.
and I have to give him a lot more respect for that because I would have never in a million years would have thought that he would do that.
Hmm. No,
Not,
he's
but he's definitely
very.
no, he's definitely a good actor. I got to give him credit. Um,
Oh,
and
interesting.
so just to give you context, that is so in that universe there are they use as a sword that releases a spirit that gives them more power, and so a Bankai is its strongest form, and that particular captain's Bankai is that, and it always makes me think of that every time I see that now.
Okay.
And you can understand why, because it looks pretty much the same.
Yeah, looks pretty
Um,
close.
but anyway, so no, I like that. I also forgot that they killed the cow
Yep.
on camera.
Hmm.
I, I,
I
I
forgot how they killed the
Well,
cow.
let me rephrase it this way. I assumed it was dead, definitely, because of the collapse of everything.
Yeah.
But I don't remember us seeing it actually like get killed.
No, I forgot that Peacemaker used
Human torpedo.
yeah, what's her name? Anna Bio.
Yes.
I completely forgot about that. The whole situation was just funny. Just like activate human torpedo. No, don't do it, and then just smashes into the wall, and then she just waddles her way into the. And
She
then...
does it again, and she's like, "Oh!" She's like, "What the hell was that?"
uh,
No, it was so good. Um, yeah, it was just everything was so good. Vigilante is hilarious.
Vigilante
Uh,
was good. Everyone
Everything was
going
good.
off of each
There was
other was
there was
great.
not a member of the team that was not good. And you know who Mern is, right?
I recognize him. I don't
So
remember
he's
where.
high evolutionary.
Right. Yep.
Um so good.
It's so funny seeing how many actors and like
Well, what's it
switched from.
Hawthorne was also in Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
I do remember. I don't remember who she played. I remember
She
seeing.
she she played somebody in like
Wasn't anything significant.
No,
Oh my goodness! So proud of you.
she I hate you so much. She played like one of the people that was held hostage.
Okay. Yeah.
Like when we saw what's his name? Nathan Fillion. Like it was in that I think it was in
Oh
that same
yeah, yeah, yeah.
frame.
Yep.
We see her. She had a speaking role, but it was obviously nothing significant.
Yeah, but no, I think it's funny how many actors and actresses jump ship from Marvel to DC to follow James Gunn.
I was gonna say it was specifically for James Gunn.
Yeah,
Um,
because they just I mean, we talked about this when Marvel let him go. Like that was a big mistake because everyone supported him, and then
well,
I,
Mantis was in Suicide Squad,
she was the
one of the dancers.
was she?
Yeah. Who did you think she was?
No, I was thinking of the. I might have been mistaking. Unless I was thinking of another person. I thought she was the in the first Suicide Squad movie, the
No, you know who that was? That's Kimiko.
right. Right. That is correct.
Which is hilarious because her two most famous characters don't speak.
Yes.
Back to the kids. But no, she played the dancer at the bar, I believe.
Okay.
She was like the lead dancer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but no, it was well done. I loved everything about it. There was nothing I could complain about. Um, like I told you, the only issue that I had, which isn't an issue, was just the fact of like I remember watching it the first time, the end, being like, "Oh my god, they're gonna kill everyone,"
Hmm.
and then obviously they didn't. We know that now, but I mean, that obviously was lost a little bit because we knew they were alive, but it was still well done. Oh
You can appreciate it more instead of like
no,
when
I
you watch
agree. I
something a
agree.
second time, you can take more in instead of. I mean, obviously this is just like a first viewing for us because it's been so long, but because we know the ending, we can pay attention to other stuff as well and
Which
how
I
it's setting that
definitely
up.
did, and I think that was the big thing because I also didn't realize that he's taken down Kite Man.
Hmm.
Peacemaker is single handedly taken down Kite Man and
Yep.
apparently not
Yep.
killed him, which is interesting.
I forgot about that show and tell. I completely forgot about that. just completely like mocking the kids and ragging on them, and the janitor is just like, dude. He's like, what? I said friggin'
Yeah,
or effing.
I'm
It
being nice. God.
was
Um,
so funny.
no, that was good too. I also forgot that he didn't want to kill people anymore.
I did remember that. I did remember that.
For whatever reason I didn't remember it. Um, and then when it happened, I was like, oh, okay, we're going on a very different path than I remembered.
Hmm.
But it was still good, obviously. Yeah, everything was incredible. There was nothing bad. They did bring up Bloodsport again. Um, they mentioned him.
A little bit. It wasn't like a major point, but just
No. But he was
slightly touched on.
mentioned is more what I'm
Yeah.
getting at.
Yep.
And I love the interactions with his father because his father's the worst human being on the planet.
Yep. Just scum of the earth. Just
Like
every
the
just
worst
like
kind of
dad.
scum of the earth. Yeah, he is legitimately the worst scum. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to season two. I mean, I was before watching this,
Mhm.
but I'm more looking forward to now what's canon and what's not.
What comes together?
Correct, and I think the way they made it seem was, and correct me if I'm wrong, we're gonna know a lot of what's canon after episode one.
Yep. We're
Yeah,
gonna be knowing what's canon, and then as the season progresses, we're gonna be based according to James Gunn, we're gonna see the direction the DCU is going to be taking.
correct.
Because they said, like he said, basically the idea of what Superman was just getting people hyped up for the new universe. It's not necessarily the direction they're choosing to go. Um,
Which is fair. But I'm very much looking forward to it. Um, we're gonna. I feel we're gonna be getting a lot of cameos. Um,
yeah.
not in a bad way whatsoever. I think in the very similar Superman way, where we're gonna be getting cameos of people that we're gonna be seeing later.
Hmm.
Which I'll be interested in. I'm also looking forward to Lanterns.
I am. I am.
Um, and I
That that's it's sounding pretty good.
and I also like that it's gonna be more of like cop thriller than action.
Yeah. I mean,
Which I'll be
it
interested
works for that kind of for
in.
that kind of hero.
It does. You don't think of it, but it is.
Hmm. Because
100%.
they encounter a lot. The Lanterns go through a lot.
I kind of
So.
forget that they're not just like yes, they're defense, but they're also espionage to try to figure out what's going on.
Hmm.
The other thing too is Nathan Fillion. This will be quick. Did an interview because they were asking like, oh, like how do you feel about Guy Gardner, and like the other lanterns, and like everyone's was looking for a lantern, and Nathan's like, here's the thing, everyone wants a lantern, but then when you find out it's Guy Gardner, you're like, nah, I don't want him. He
Yeah.
goes, but if you want some shady stuff done, you call him and he'll do it.
Yep.
He goes, so that's basically him. Nobody's looking for him ever. They only get him when either they don't want him or they really need him, and
Yeah.
it's scary when they really need him. And I just thought that was interesting because he's a comic book fan, which I don't. I think you knew that, right?
I did know that. Yep.
So he knows Guy Gardner because one of his big things is he wants to meet the DCU's Batman because he wants the interaction where Batman punches him in the face.
Yeah.
That's what he wants, which is hilarious to me that that's something somebody wants, but it's funny.
It's one of those small things that it's like,
It's comic book
yep.
accurate, but you're not expecting somebody to pull that one out. That's a good one. But anyway, let us move on to Eyes of Wakanda. I was not expecting what we got. It was
No,
really
it
good.
it was good.
I will say this. Remember how I asked you yesterday? It's like, is it just a bunch of different stories, or does it all come together? And to be fair, you were not lying to me whatsoever because you didn't get to it, obviously. But all of a sudden, I get to the end, and I went, "Oh, they pulled a what if on us.
Yeah, they did.
They pulled a big what if on us." I was
Well,
not ready.
I was just like trying because I'm like there are some things that happened that I didn't want to spoil for you because I'm like I didn't want to set up your expectations, so I was just like kind of
But you
trying to be
finished it
shady
though, so you
about it.
didn't know.
No, I did finish it at that point.
Oh, I didn't realize you did. Oh man.
I didn't want to say anything because I was like I was like it kind of does, but I was like no, it's
Well,
all its own
Well,
story
to
and
be fair,
whatever.
so like it was like so when you said that, I was like, so I get to the second episode and we see the woman from the first episode.
Hmm.
So I'm like, okay, all right, so it's interrelated, but not really, because like she didn't play a major role in that episode, but it's like it continues on, and then I get to the final episode, which by the way, each episode was great. The Pirate King was incredible.
Hmm.
That honestly was incredible. I love the idea of it.
Everything I enjoyed each story that they
Oh,
told.
they were. It was so different, but so good at the same time.
Yeah.
Then a Wakandan and the Iron Fist becoming lovers. Oh.
Yep.
But you know what's funny? The first thing I thought of when I saw her laying there was she's got to be the Iron Fist.
That's
All
that.
joking aside, and I said it partially as a joke, but I was like, "There's no way that this woman would be the guard of, you know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
that she'd be this close to it without, because again, back then women were not considered as highly respected,
Yep.
right? In most cultures, not all cultures, but most cultures. And so the fact that we get her there, I'm like, she's got to be the Iron Fist. That's the only way she'd be allowed there, right? And I'm like, oh, I was right. Um, I just wasn't expecting what we got.
Yeah.
Um, and then the Greek the Greek one was with the Trojans was
Yep.
so good, and then the
Yep.
final episode was incredible. Um, the fact that it all leads to the MCU was
I really enjoyed each story. I
no, it's
know
all
that
well done.
one of the things that you were talking about, like the when we had last mentioned it when we first got our teaser trailer for it, you were thinking that it was going to be modern. You were thinking it was going to be modern, and originally we had when we were talking about, we said it was going to be more in the past, and obviously it all was like,
It was
uh,
all correct.
yeah.
It was so. What was weird is we were correct in every way, but wrong also because of that.
I mean, I would go like more wrong in terms because obviously it wasn't really modern. It was
Well,
modern for the last little bit, but
Well, it was
it
modern in the sense of
connected.
yeah, but I also like that their technology, they saw their past and everything else.
Yeah.
I also like to see that we got the war dogs.
Hmm.
Like basically this was Tales of the War Dogs. Obviously, I'm very much simplifying it,
Yeah.
but we got to see what it was like to be a war dog, where
Yeah.
it's like you are in the outside world and then you have to come back to your home after being in the outside world for some decades.
Hmm.
And so you lose that sense of being a part of it.
You're so used to being alone and in the trenches that you're not used to a sense of community and like being able to
So
have people have your back.
for me, when we see what's her name not come back to Wakanda, in the first, you know which one I'm talking about? The
Nani.
not is that how you say it? Yeah, I
I
think
think
it
I
is.
think I
But
think it
we're
was
saying it the
not
same way.
Nani.
The one with the rings.
Yep.
It was kind of like, well, why would she want to leave? And then we see this, and it's like, oh, pretty much all of them don't want to come back because they can't come back because the world is not. They,
Oh, you're talking about sorry, when you said the first one, I thought you meant the first episode.
oh, my apologies. No, no, no.
Black Panther's girlfriend.
Yes.
I do not remember her name, but now I understand.
It is something similar though. It's Naki.
It is something similar.
Anyway, but anyway, so no, no. So I also loved that she like paralleled that as well. Like
Mhm.
she was like basically the ancestor of her, which I thought was kind of, well, granted they're all ancestors, but you get my
Nakia.
point. Nakia, thank you. But you get my point. So like now we understand better of like why she wanted to stay, because
Yep.
the Wakanda is so isolated
Hmm.
that when you come back, nobody understands what you're talking about on the
Yeah.
outside world. Which does make sense. But it was just so well. The first one with the pirate was cool. The Panther Pirate King, no Lion Panther.
It was
No, it was the
he was the
Lion.
lion. He was the lion.
He was the Lion Pirate King, which was so cool. I also love how nonchalantly he's like, "Let me get my armor,"
Yeah, it was just so nice and
and I'm just like, "Wow." But the
he had no fear and respect for her. It was just so
well, I
funny.
think he had a little bit more. He had
He
more
had respect
respect
that
for her.
she got as far as she did, but like he was so full of himself that he didn't care about
Also,
her.
the cages of people underneath his ships.
Yeah. Hey, that was
That
pirate. That was pirate.
I don't ever remember hearing stories of people putting them in cages and attaching them to the bottom of their ships.
So they didn't. They would attach him to the bottom of their ship and have him be dragged.
Yes.
The cages part, I don't. That I think was might have been unique, but who knows? It
No,
could
no,
have
no. The
been.
reason why I'm saying it is because it's the my thought, right, is it's one to torch you to get rid of your enemies,
Mm-hmm.
obviously. No
Mm-hmm.
shock of that. But for your new enemies to see this is what happens.
Yeah, it's
And
a
I'm
message.
like, that's good. That's
Yeah,
cool.
it was.
Um no,
No,
I
it
also like
was
how he
really well
brought
done.
the world together, which was interesting too. He brought other people around the world to join him,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing them all fight was kind of cool too.
It was interesting that the message that episode was trying to tell in terms of like he was bringing people together, but not necessarily doing it in a great way. But
No, I
you
agree.
have to, but you also have to do the bad stuff in order to get a better world sometimes as well. So it's like,
That was the tough thing where it was like he he was one of those where it's like if we got more into his story, it wasn't. I don't think it was from a bad place necessarily,
mm-hmm,
but it became bad, obviously.
yeah, 100
Because he was
percent.
kidnapping, forcing people to stay. He
Mm-hmm.
had all his, I'm
Marking
assuming,
them,
wives. I don't know
yeah,
what they were supposed to be. That kind of threw me off. Because all the women had to loot and like learn the
yeah,
loot and everything else.
mm-hmm,
But what was also weird was one of his generals was a woman, so it's like the Viking was a woman.
yeah, yep.
So I'm like, so not all women had to be, but obviously the ones that you thought were fruitful. I don't even know how to like. I don't know what his thought process was. But it was all his idea. I also like his ship. His ship was awesome.
And I like the comment about when I think, like I said, I think her name was Nani.
Of
That
course, that's his ship.
yeah, it's like show off or full of himself, whatever,
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. But no, I
Just
like that.
5 times the size of every other ship.
Yeah. And also everyone loses an eye. Can we talk about that? Like everyone loses an eye. So then the second episode was the Trojan War.
hmm
Um,
I forget his Wakanda name, but his undercover name was Memoan Momoa.
no, it's not Momoa. It's
No,
Mamako.
huh?
Mamako?
No, it definitely wasn't Mamako. Um,
I don't remember. But anyway, that was such a good one because I know that history more, obviously, because it's based in history, obviously.
yep.
And granted, all of them except for the first one, which is weird, was based on an actual historical event.
Second one was Trojan War. Third one was
Oh no, it
the
wasn't. No, you're right. It was just the second one was.
yeah, and then obviously the fourth one. Well, fourth
Fourth
one
one,
could have been
yes. No, fourth
yeah,
one was because of the war that they were fighting the
exactly.
Ottomans.
It
But
wasn't
it
a
wasn't the
specific
fourth one.
event, but
No, no, correct, correct, correct.
it was
But
just a
anyway,
battle.
yeah. But anyway, so anyway, this was the Trojan War, and it was so good. I loved it. I also loved that he goes for the Achilles heel,
Yep. Hey.
which obviously needed to be done. Because my first thought was, what is he going to stab him in the ankle and end it? And then he sliced his ankle, and I was like, well, here we are.
Hey, that's the only way you can beat him.
Well, because then he couldn't run away, I couldn't fight. I get it. It just was so good. I also felt bad because I'm gonna sound very weird on this because it was Greek, right? Were they lovers?
Could have been.
Because granted, it was Greek times.
Yep.
It wasn't frowned upon. Um,
Memnon.
Memnon. Anyway,
His Wakandan name is Bakai.
that's I combined the two. That's
Yeah,
weird.
you did.
I knew them both, but I went boop, one for one. But no, that was so well done. All to get hell. So I thought she was a Wakandan, the one that had the pendant.
hmm
I thought it was like a double spy thing where they're both working together to try to end the war to get all the artifacts. And then obviously it wasn't. It was Helen of Troy, and he's like, "Give me that." And
Yep.
it's just like, "Oh, well, that was interesting." I wasn't mad about it whatsoever. I just thought that was kind of cool.
No, it was a good episode. I mean, like I said, each episode
Oh, for sure, for sure.
had their
It's
own
always
identity
origins,
and
right?
thing, and it just like just seeing the little small little twist that they gave to the class to that classic story, like the
And
just
can we just talk about how a nation that is in secrecy always has their artifacts taken?
yeah, right.
Always,
It's been stolen for
always.
thousands of years. Well, then why did it take you so long to get this stuff back?
And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, why does it keep happening? So anyway, so then the third episode was the most arrogant war dog of all.
Yep. Well,
Oh, definitely. All right, let me phrase it this way.
he
Overconfident.
was he showed himself to be confident and arrogant.
Yes. And then we got the Iron Fist for the first time in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Officially,
Yep. First official Iron Fist. That's correct. Actually,
because we don't know if any other Iron Fist will come out in season 2 of
we so technically we have had an Iron Fist in MCU because the Defenders are part of it, but
but
this is the
are
first
they
time it
all?
is this is the first time it has appeared in an MCU project.
That is fair. That is fair. And I also wonder if that's Colleen Wigg's distant relative.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because remember, there was only one other female Iron Fist in history, and it was supposedly Colleen Wigg's ancestor.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about it in Iron Fist, um, and it sounds very similar to that story.
I mean,
Obviously,
if
minus the Wakandan. Minus the Wakandan.
I mean, it very much could. I mean, it kind of has to be if like that's how it. Unless they pull a like, oh,
Which
this
they
was a
could.
different. Unless they pull like, oh, this is a different universe kind of thing, then they could do
Yeah,
that.
you're right,
But
but I doubt it.
yeah,
I
that's
doubt
the
it.
only. Like it has to be Kylie Wiggs ancestor.
Colleen Wigg.
Thank you.
You were really struggling.
I really struggled with that one.
That
um,
should be an easy name, but continue.
it's like we always talk about when it comes to us, it's like the difficult things you get no problem, and then I
Yeah.
get the it's like
No, it's so bizarre. Like you'll struggle with a name that people should struggle with, and I say it without a problem. And then it's like, and then I go, oh gosh, I don't want to say the right name because then you'll think that. So I'm not gonna say it.
you have
Um,
to waving the flag before before it
well, because
derails.
my luck is I'll say the right name and you'll be like, you thought that was the wrong name, and I'll be like, yeah. Anyway, my point I'm making is just the fact of like, it could be, but I thought that was very interesting. I also like that we see the Iron Fist, and also identical to how we saw it in live action,
hmm
which I thought was kind of cool as well. Um, but yeah, that one was really good. I also like how easily convinced the Wakandans were that it was a drill.
I mean, I don't. I'll be honest. I don't think that they were actually convinced. I think it was just like
It's resolved.
we're
We're done.
yeah, we're gonna go with the flow. Just like whatever. And then I mean, no matter what, like if this was fake, where he sends him out to the field, he's gonna die anyway. So what? He's gonna get punished anyways.
That is also true.
So
Um, but no, so well done. We also got to see all the artifacts again, which I thought was cool. And then the final episode, we have the Forgotten Prince of Wakanda. Um, not actually, but
that one was honestly really good.
it threw me off so much because it said the last Panther, and I go, that can't be accurate.
I know, right? It's like what is this going to tie into like the Black Panther and how like he was actually
This
the
is,
last one?
and I go, this is stupid. And then it happens. I go, this isn't stupid. It's so good.
I take it back. I take it back.
And the fact that they needed Killmonger to get the axe for them to save the world, which is so weird, but so accurate.
hmm No, it was absolutely. It was such a great final episode
So
that tied everything
well
together.
done. Oh, everything was incredible. Loved every second of it. I loved. Well, first off, her timeline was everyone died.
Oh yeah.
There's no way she survived either. She was dead too.
Oh no, she was very dead. Like
She was
the
dead.
last one against an alien invasion. Like absolutely.
Um, but oh, so good.
And I thought it was interesting that they according to this, that Wakanda went back to its old ways of being isolated, which led to the downfall of Earth. Because in the MCU, Wakanda agreed to finally start opening itself out up to the rest of the world and helping them.
But also remember, it was T'Challa, and it was because of the incidents of Killmonger. And so, because that artifact never existed, he could never figure out how to get into Wakanda.
That is
So
true.
therefore,
Okay.
those events never happened, which
Yeah.
means he never thought that the outside world should be a part of it because he was never influenced from the outside world.
Well, I kind of. So I'm gonna say I kind of disagree, just to play devil's advocate in this point, because in Black Panther, from uh from the two from him and his father, he still wanted to be out with the rest of the world. It but his father was kind of like, no, you can't do it because this is the way, this is how we've always done it.
All right, well, think of it this way: his dad wouldn't be dead
What do you mean?
because of the events that happened. His dad might not have died.
S Oh, okay, because the
So then
hammer never went missing, this never.
there's still a
Okay.
chance that he was isolated enough that he might not have. Now, I'm
I
not
was
saying.
kind of I was kind of seeing it as like the event still happened. It's just the hammer never got.
Well, but here's my thing with this, right? So my thought process is the idea is the Wakandan stuff existed, right,
Mhm.
out in the world. However, the idea of this object still being in existence is what caused Killmonger to set everything in motion. It
Yep.
wasn't just him getting it and finding it, it was the looking for it. Because if it didn't exist anymore, meaning like on regular soil, and it was
Yep.
back in Wakandan's hands, he would have no proof to bring people together to show that this is real.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand. I know. I do
That's my
understand.
thought. I could be wrong, but I also love that we get Killmonger at the end.
Yep. No, I mean everything. Everything with Killmonger in it is great, even if it's just a 2-second back shot.
And I literally am like, this is how it all is supposed to be.
Uh
And
huh.
I just thought that was so cool. Um, Also, can we talk about how tall the last Black Panther is?
She was pretty tall.
She's
Yeah.
incredibly tall.
I mean, as time progresses, humans get taller and taller. So I mean, like the average height continues to grow. So who knows? 500 years in the future, like everyone could be 7 feet tall.
I mean, well, it depends.
Although she did tower over her royal guard as well. So I mean, can't really go off of that.
She was
She was a
tall.
solid like foot or two taller than
That's what I'm
everybody
saying.
else.
She herself was taller.
Yeah,
Like
I
like everyone else was like what we would consider. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's when I say average height for like warriors and heroes.
yeah.
But like, and then she's like,
Yeah, no, I like completely. As I started talking, I was like, "Wait, no, she just was a
she
giant."
was just a giant. But yeah, it was just very cool in that sense. I loved every second of it. I was actually very impressed with it because the idea is we saw those stories because she was looking through the stories,
Hmm.
which I
Yeah,
liked, and that she
absolutely.
only interfered when she realized what was needed.
She only interfered when she needed to.
Yep.
Um,
Oh, so
I
good.
mean, I enjoyed the story with the prince, anyways. Like this, the prince's story was fantastic,
I thought it
anyways.
was very
Trying to
cool
find
too
his
because
place
it
in the
was
world.
exactly because he will never be king because of he's the third in line.
Yep. He's got to find his own path, and I like that he learned what it was to be a war dog while trying to find his like he was trying so hard to make a name for himself that
That
he
he realized,
realized what was more important.
like sometimes it's not about the glory. You might be remembered, yes, but there's going to be a lot of things that you did that people will never know happened.
Yes.
And I think that's what he realized the most was all war dogs are part of the history. We don't even know even a fraction of it.
Yeah. No, it was a great message.
So good, so good.
Um
I
and
also love the fact that the only reason why like the prince was like, no, we got to do this, and he's like, how? We don't even know what she's saying is real, and he's like, nah, my mom's pregnant. Like,
yeah, like no, she right.
he's like, nobody knows except for somebody from the future or the royal family, and she ain't royal family, so here we are.
She's technically royal family.
Well, to them, she's not.
No, I know, I know.
I get your point. Yes, you're correct. But like, she wouldn't be in
She
that
wouldn't be in
timeline.
that timeline.
Yeah, that's my point. So it's like, so I just thought that was kind of cool. And I honestly thought they died, the prince and the him.
I thought so too. When the bomb went off, I thought that they
I
were
honestly thought they
dead.
were dead. I also thought it was kind of cool though that they went back and said it was destroyed, which I thought
Mhm.
was very cool. Which also then makes it so nobody looks for it anymore.
Yeah, it's that way. It stays where it's supposed to be. Um, no, like I said, a great set of four stories. Like the only thing that I had about this was like I wasn't too crazy about the animation. Um, like
I think for me, one of the things that did bother me, which I do, here's the thing, I understand why they went this route, was we saw people die, but there was no blood.
oh yeah, yeah,
I get why they did it, but like there were clear signs of people getting stabbed.
oh yeah. What
Even
was
when the
funny, like
even
in
when
the
the arrow even when the arrow went through the hand, there was no blood.
oh yeah. No, when the first episode, I thought they were going to go with the route because like the very first scene we saw people getting killed and they cut away from it. So I was like, "Oh, they're just not going to they're going to imply it." And then we just saw bodies falling like immediately after. I was like, "Oh, okay, that's out the window."
Yeah, and again, like it was minor stuff. Like it wasn't anything crazy. Um,
I mean, not showing blood for me like isn't as that's what keeps it PG.
no, no, no. I will
So
say this,
like
but it's one of those things where it's like somebody gets stabbed. My immediate thought is blood. I get why they didn't do it because it's not like they were like, "Oh, he lived." No, they died. I get it. So it's like whatever.
yeah, I
I
mean for that one just that wasn't as big of a thing for me. Like I said, it was just my whole thing was like I felt like the animation wasn't as good, but at the same time,
it
I feel
was
like
too. It was weird.
at the same time though the animation that they went felt like felt like animation for like uh wall paintings. So it was like they're telling the story through someone, you know, through word of mouth, and they're using paintings to tell the story. So that's what it felt like. But visually seeing it on screen kind of felt a little bit weird for me, especially because I've gotten so used to the classic MCU animation in general. I bet if I were to see more of it, I would become more okay with it. But just the initial viewing of it was
I
like,
think it's very similar to like Rebels, where
seeing it at first was like, okay, this is weird, and then
it's
like
a
you get a
downgrade, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, it's not about
it's
the animation.
it's better. Yeah, it's about the story exactly. Um,
No, but so well done. Yeah, no, I will have to say I don't know what I was expecting from this show, but I feel like it went above my expectations.
oh
Not that
yeah,
my expectations were extremely high for it, because it wasn't. I'm just stating like it was definitely a lot better than I was expecting.
yeah, oh
And
yeah.
I honestly would have never predicted what we got.
No, no, you
I
clearly
might,
did not.
to be fair, I might have maybe predicted one of the stories, like them doing something in the Greek War or something like that. Like I might have guessed something like that, but I definitely wouldn't have guessed the overarching story at all in a
No,
million years.
yeah, no, it was very good. It was like you said, above my expectation. Um,
And now we have to wait for Marvel Zombies for the next Marvel
is
project.
that the next Marvel project?
Yeah, because it was this, then Marvel Zombies,
Okay,
and then it's Wonder Man.
when Wonder Man is in December, so
Yes, I
that
believe it's supposed to be Christmas week. It starts, but don't quote me on that.
oh, I'm gonna have a busy winter. it's
You are going to have a very busy winter.
it's gonna be a
Um,
very busy winter for me.
Extremely. Although all joking aside, I think that is the only. Well, that's the only show right now that has been.
I saw someone made a comment that wait, no, never mind. I figured it out. Someone had made a comment that it was interesting that in 2023, James Gunn with Guardians of the Galaxy 3 beat all of DC's movie releases at that time. I don't remember what the three movies were in 2023, but um and then he said then the person said it's ironic
Flash,
that now
Aquaman, and what would have been the third? Would it have been Wonder Woman 87? I feel like that was
No,
earlier.
Wonder Woman was during COVID.
You get my point. Like I'm trying to think of the third one. I can only think of two
Um,
because it wasn't Suicide Squad. That was earlier.
let
What
me
was
see
the
if I can.
third?
Oh,
Was it?
Blue Beetle.
Oh
Was it? No,
no, that was after. Was it not? Am I crazy? Wasn't that last year? Blue Beetle?
no, that was not. I know that was.
I don't think it was
Oh,
in the same
released
year as
released
Aquaman.
4 movies in 2023: Shazam, The Flash, Blue Beetle, and Aquaman.
Oh, Blue Beetle was before Aquaman. Interesting.
Yeah,
Shazam, I'm not surprised. We talked about that. The plot
yeah,
was
we've
taken
talked about
away in
that
the
plenty of time.
in the trailer, which was irritating. But anyway, um, yeah,
So he beat all of the DC movies at that time,
and
and
to be
now
fair, those movies were definitely not DC's best.
I mean
And
yes,
also, to be fair, and I'm not trying to belittle James Gunn's accomplishment. I'm more of stating like they also knew that the DCEU was done, so they
no,
weren't
that's what
pushing
I
it.
was gonna say was like Aquaman had the best shot of holding its own if it wasn't advertised as the last DCEU movie.
I well, Flash
Be-
also too. Flash also could have done better too because Michael Keaton, Michael
yeah,
Keaton,
but my point was
Mike,
because out of all the
Mike,
movies,
Mike,
Aquaman had the
Mike,
best.
Mike, 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 Michael Keaton.
Had the tail ends of the first movie hitting $1 billion, so that one had the best chance of succeeding
No,
because
that
it
is
was,
true. That is true. That is true.
but because it was already like okay, it's gonna be over. There's no point in wasting our time going to see it. Was it a good movie that should have hit $1 billion? No. Was it better than I expected? Yes.
Yes.
Was the CGI ass? 1,000%. like,
Man, water is difficult. Let me tell you. I don't know what it is.
well, here's the thing. Like, water is difficult if you do low budget stuff.
True.
Look at Avatar. The second Avatar movie
No,
was
you're right.
incredible, but their budget was through the roof.
I was gonna
so
say like you're absolutely right, and they didn't want to put any more money into it, which I get because it's
it was
ending.
ending. Yeah.
Um,
But anyway, so like continuing my point is now James Gunn, as the head of DC, has now beaten all Marvel movies to come out this year, which was Fantastic Four, which was had the best shot of beating them.
which was what we talked about anyway. That was the one.
Yep. It was Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, and Captain America.
Thunderbolts, people didn't give a chance to, because that
No,
was really
Thunderbolts was the best MCU movie for this year.
yes.
And I'm going to argue this is that I consider it. I think it is actually one of the best MCU movies.
I am not going to argue with you on that because I'm leaning towards the same thing, but I'm afraid to say that until I give it more time.
I mean I
I
agree. I
I
have to
agree. So here's
rewatch
the
it,
thing.
but
I will tell you yes, yes. I'm agreeing with you, but when it comes out, which is supposed to be soon
mhm.
on Disney Plus, I'm gonna rewatch it and see if it has the same effect.
I'm at the moment. I know it has a couple of CGI issues, which I mean, like I'm not.
But weren't that many?
It wasn't that many. It was like 1 or 2 scenes, and it was like okay, I can deal with it.
It's honestly, it's when he's actually Sentry.
When he's moving fast, so it's
But
like
like,
okay.
but when he's the Void, it's incredible. And
Um,
he's Bob, it's great.
at yeah, with Bob, but like
Bob,
at the moment, Thunderbolts is top 3 for me in the MCU, and it might even be top 2. Like I was
ever?
honestly
Wow.
at the moment it's at top 3. Like the only two that are competing with Thunderbolts at the moment is Infinity War and Ragnarok.
Oh, you're only talking about movies.
Oh, I'm only talking about movies. No,
All
movies,
right, never
movies.
mind, never mind, never mind, never mind, never mind. Okay. Nope.
No. Shows are a different category.
Nope, that's fine. No, 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 that's fine. That's why I was like, you gotta hold your effing horses in there. But all right. So with that being said, then yes, I would say for sure. Um, I mean, again, it could waver slightly, but for the
yeah,
most part, I would agree with you. It's definitely up there for sure. It's definitely on the high tier for sure, without a question.
It just really sucks that like going off of that, Thunderbolts was the best movie to come out this year, and it was the one that did the worst in theaters. And it's actually, if I remember correctly, it was the second worst performing MCU movie ever. Um, Only just ahead of the Marvels, which also wasn't as bad of a movie as people took it to be.
Which is so weird to think about too. Like the two worst ones are actually not worse.
Exactly. It's like what?
But anyway, we'll see what happens. I mean, streaming can change it around too. I mean, it was at least good enough to stay out there as long as it did.
Yeah.
So
Well,
if I
that's the thing too. Is everyone now jumping back to like the Superman Fantastic Four thing. I don't know if you've seen like people complaining and whatnot. It's like, oh, Superman isn't as good as Man of Steel because you have to count for inflation. Like if you took inflation, like Man of Steel would be blowing Superman out of the water
there was
because
also nothing competing with Superman at the time, was it
there
not?
was nothing competing. It was high off the heels of The Dark Knight,
Yep.
and there was no streaming back then, and the
Al-
economy was good.
Also, too, this was the start of the potential of the Justice League. So
Mm-hmm.
this was like a big hype for everyone to be excited
Well,
for.
this was a big hype because like this is actually going off of the heels of the MCU because everyone was talking about how the Avengers just came out. So now that the Avengers had just come out, people were like, "Oh my god, is DC going to start doing this?"
No,
So it
that's
was like
exactly.
all
No,
like
that's my exact point. It's like so it was a combination of all that because it wasn't just the fact of it being a good like it was a decent movie. Don't get me wrong; it had its problems, but for the most part,
it
it.
was okay.
But
Yeah.
it wasn't to me. It wasn't a good Superman movie.
No, it was not a good Superman movie. I've talked about this. It ruined the image of Superman because it took everything about Superman and just like turned it upside down.
No, no, it kind of just
Zod breaking the neck. Yes, I know.
just
um,
kind of snapped a little, you know.
but this Superman movie had so much to compete against because it was the first of a new universe. It had James Gunn has to repair the damages done by the DCEU,
Hmm.
has to compete with Marvel,
Hmm.
and I mean Jurassic Park as well because those both
No,
released.
and to be fair, regardless of how Jurassic Park went, like show wise, that is a good franchise. Like that's a good franchise, and that's something that puts butts in seats.
Yeah, no matter what, you don't
It
go
was
to a
trying
Jurassic
to.
Park movie expecting like a fantastic story. You go there to see a monster mash. That's what Jurassic Park has become now.
You're
It's
not
a
wrong.
monster mash.
You're not
Um,
wrong. You're actually also expecting people to die, which is why people were not happy with this film. Um,
what Jurassic Park?
yeah,
People died.
yeah, but not the main characters.
There was like four, not main characters, but like secondary characters that died.
All right, fair. But you get my point of making. My whole thing is so like what I'm getting
It
at is
it wasn't the classic Jurassic Park movie where it was like
correct.
there was a lot of death. It was just like very isolated incident kind of
Correct.
thing. It
It was yeah, it was a little wonky, but that being said,
did you see it?
yes, I
Oh,
did.
I didn't know. I didn't know you actually had interest in seeing it.
So I'll say this: I actually was more interested in it because it felt like it was going to be a different story, and it was. It still was
Oh, okay.
because it was the idea is it was supposed to be like as stupid as it sounds, a rebirth, and I hate saying it because it was the name of the movie, but the idea was it's
Which
like
there's a lot of controversy with people being like the name of the movie doesn't make any sense because it's like
no for me. Well, I'll say this: it sort of did for me only because very vaguely, and what I mean by that is because they were going to hunt for the eggs to
mhm.
try to make it again.
Yeah,
Which again would be a rebirth of Jurassic Park. However, the movie itself was not a rebirth.
yeah, no,
Like it was to me it was the task that they were assigned to that was the rebirth. That the movie itself was not a rebirth.
yeah,
Poorly
I'll give
named,
that.
but I get it.
Um,
No, but so my whole point I'm making is like it. These three movies did not do as well as they could have if they weren't necessarily
because they
competing
didn't have
against
to
each other.
compete with each other. Yeah,
Correct.
Jurassic Park surprisingly did the best out of not surprisingly, but because it had the global audience, whereas Fantastic Four and Superman kind of didn't. But Jurassic Park almost hit $1 billion. It was at like three-quarters of a
But
million.
it also was more earlier than the rest of them, right?
It was the first one. Yeah, it was.
Which
So
also
it was
changed it
Jurassic
too.
Park. Jurassic Park came out the first weekend. It came out the 4th of July weekend. Then Superman came out the next weekend, and then 2 weeks later was Fantastic Four. Um, if I think they both would have done a lot better if Fantastic Four had pushed the release back to August instead of July. Let Superman have July because that was announced first, and then
Well, I'm also glad that they didn't decide to push it forward and release it on Superman.
oh, that would have been terrible for them. It
Well, I agree
would
with
have
you.
been terrible for both of them,
No,
but
it would have. No, 100%. But you get my point because you would have had to make the decision.
exactly.
Um, but yeah, no,
But
that would have
at
been
the end of the day,
interesting.
too, like what I was getting at for Man of Steel was that Man of Steel didn't have streaming. Like nowadays, because people are a little bit more frugal with their money,
They'll wait until it comes out in
they'll
streaming.
wait for it to come out to stream. Like, why am I going to spend money in a movie theater for pay $30 to go see it? So see a movie when I
Yeah, if
can.
I'm not super interested in it, which to be fair, some people would rather not spend the money and just wait for it to come out on streaming.
Yeah, and like nowadays, people take that into consideration because if it depends on how well it does via streaming, that could result in a sequel. Um,
True.
because that's also making it worth it for these execs to continue funding things.
Correct.
But I apologize for getting derailed a little bit over there. It
No,
just
it's all
it
right. You just
one
always do that. So let's get on to your character spotlight.
yeah, because I have things to
Yeah,
do.
it's more you than me.
All right, so this character, um, I decided to choose them because I was honestly just scrolling through Twitter and someone posted like, "Oh, here's a new unknown character. Let's go dig it through them a little bit." So this character was introduced in May of 2021, and their name is Flatline. Oh, you know them?
Is this the girlfriend to the Joker?
No, no, it is not. Has nothing to do with the Joker.
Is it a woman? It is a woman.
Yes, it is.
Is she not like a jester themed in any way?
Do you want me to continue or
Yeah, because no, because I think I know who this is.
okay?
Continue.
Well,
I think I did a character spotlight on her on my channel. That's why I'm laughing.
all right. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, because on my end it was buffering, so that I didn't know if
Because I
you were.
moved everything. I literally moved my computer. I
Oh,
think it
okay.
does that when that happens.
All right. So Flatline is one of the world's greatest fighters who is invited to participate in a tournament by the League of Lazarus. Um, the League of Lazarus was originally created by Ra's al Ghul as a splinter organization of the League of Assassins that would focus on finding places where Lazarus pits could be created.
Oh, never mind. This
Um,
is not who I thought it was.
I was gonna say you're like you were probably going way off. Um, however, over the years,
Punchline.
oh, you were thinking Punchline. um,
To be fair, very similar names.
it is close. You know, it had line in the name.
Well, no, because to be fair, they do sound similar.
Yeah.
Name wise, clearly they are not the same.
So over the years, Raish's mother, Rue Al Ghul, um, the League of Lazarus is an agon is a splinter. My God, the League of Lazarus is a splinter organization of the League of Assassins that worship a demonic entity that inhabits the Lazarus Pit. They hold a death tournament every 100 years for the greatest fighters in the world to participate in order to sacrifice the winner to the Lazarus Pit for the demon inside of it to bond with.
So basically, it is Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat and the DCU over the Lazarus Pit. Like,
Okay, no, I just wanted to make sure I'm hearing you
just
correctly.
just setting the context for you.
No, I get it. We're here. We're there.
I think it's so funny that we started talking about Johnny Cage earlier in the episode. Um, so Flatline is the sidekick of Lord Deathman. Um, some history on this character. Flatline was born with powers to absorb the skills of the people that died, and through her childhood, she was always drawn to death. As her family didn't understand her, Flatline sought guidance from Lord Deathman and became his sidekick. Lord Death made Flatline enter the League of Lazarus tournament so that she could train and absorb the skills of the fighters that died. Once in the tournament, Flatline met Robin, Damian Wayne Robin, who asked to fight with someone. Flatline volunteered and killed him by ripping his heart out. However, due to the nature of the Lazarus Island, Robin revived as all combatants had 3 deaths available before permanently dying. Later that night, Flatline found Robin sneaking on the island, on the heart of the island, and followed him, and the two entered a secret passage that led to a big Lazarus pit before leaving the island. And it's actually all that there is on Flatline because, like I said, she's a brand new character, and my understanding is that's the only story that she's in. Um,
Really?
so some powers and abilities. She has the power of skill absorption. Like I said, she can absorb the powers and retain the skills of those that die near her. Um, Basically, she used this to increase her fighting ability. She is an expert. She is an advanced hand-to-hand combatant. She is a master martial artist. She is multilingual. She can speak English and Russian, and she is super sneaky. Sneaky, sneaky.
Interesting.
um,
That's
yeah,
interesting. I actually like that.
I thought I would talk about a very 2-second character, just a little bit.
No, nothing
And
wrong with that whatsoever. I actually think that's kind of cool. Curious to see if we see that maybe in the future.
yeah,
But all right. Well, next week we're going to try to figure out what we're going to be doing. Right now, we're not going to do that. We'll do that later. But we'll definitely come up with something to either watch, read, whatever it may be, and move on from there. Oh, Visions 2 comes out, right? Or is that, I mean, Visions 3, or is that October?
that is October, I believe. We already watched Visions 1, so do you want to watch Visions 2?
Sure. We could do that. Because I think we have 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks of nothing?
Uh, as far as we know,
Yes.
we Peacemaker, we have like 2.5 weeks. The 21st.
Well, so
We have 2 weeks of this of
2 weeks
no.
of this,
Yeah,
yes, and
yeah.
that's more what I'm getting at. So it's 2 weeks we have to figure out what we're going to do. So next week we could do Visions 2 to get us ready to rewatch that, to get us ready for Visions 3, and then we'll figure something out for the 17th.
Oh, yeah, yeah, okay. We also don't even know, as far as I know, I haven't seen whether Peacemaker is coming out weekly or everything all at once.
That is also true. We're actually, hold on. I am wondering if we actually got that answer. I think we got that answer recently, I thought. I could be wrong. Yeah, it's weekly. They
Okay,
released the schedule, so it's 21st is the first episode, 28th is the second, September 4th is the third, blah blah blah, and it goes till like October 9th.
okay. So it's literally just
It's going to
weekly.
be once a week, which
Okay,
I think was the
that's
same
fine.
thing it did last time. No, 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 that's good. That's good because that will lead us. That'll give us. We'll have I think a couple of weeks free after that, before Marvel Zombies, and we'll go from there. Because some of the things I might have us do is actually, ooh, read the Marvel Zombie comics.
Oh, that'll be good.
Because there's
Just
two.
so you know, also I looked up. I apologize for derailing you,
No,
but
it's okay.
Vision season 3 comes out October 29th.
All right, so everything comes out of. Oh, well then, Marvel Zombies is when? Hold on, I'm looking that up now.
Um,
Marvel Zombies.
October 3rd.
Oh, we don't have a break now. That's good.
That works. That okay. Interesting that they wait for Marvel Zombie. Well, technically, I think there is still a break because if this comes out all at once, we still have the month of October.
Yes. No, no, you're correct. You're correct. You're correct. I'm wondering if it does though, because it's not clear. It doesn't. This one doesn't say. It does say
I mean, it's still quite a bit out.
no,
So
correct. Right now it's saying the first episode comes out October 3rd. That doesn't mean for sure it's gonna, you know what I'm saying?
yep.
So we'll have to wait and see. But no, my whole point I'm making is we could what I'm getting at is we'll do the Marvel Zombies comics and get that done so we can get you prepared for what might be coming.
That's fine by me.
All right, perfect. So for now, if you made it this far into the video, please make sure to like and subscribe down below. Other than that, this is going to be Scott and Mike signing out of the Black Eel Podcast. Have a wonderful night. Bye bye.